Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I have a birthday card to share with you using an older stamp set from my favorite things called Let Your Hair Down. I love this image, she's so much fun, illustrated by Tiddlyinks. For today's card actually I was motivated and well, I used it as an excuse to try to have this girl have like pastel colored hair. It's something that I have seen done by many people already, and it's always so stunning outside of the box for me, but truly stunning. And these illustrations from Tiddlyinks really lend themselves towards having a bit of fun with colorful hair. I think rainbow hair definitely can be an option as well. So today I am reusing this stamp set to have some fun with colorful hair. This girl is going to have some violet hair, but really muted, like really soft. I was not really sure how I was going to color the hair yet at this stage, so I try to avoid the hair, although normally I start with that because I find it a bit harder than all of the rest of the coloring. So I was definitely postponing doing that. Well, it ended up great. I'm really glad with how it turned out. It was really soft. Maybe I could have used a darker purple as well to have a bit more contrast, but I love how it turned out. It was great to go with some pattern papers, also multiple options there, so I'm showing you a few later on in this video. Yeah, I had tons of fun with this card. It's a really simple, clean and simple card. And anyone can do it. You can easily create a scene card with it. It's all up to you how far you want to go. Also, in case you wonder about the colors, the combinations of the markers, you can find them on my blog post. I have listed everything there to help you find everything. So here I started with the flicking. The flicking for, well, this kind of method for the hair, I call it flicking. It's not always easy and you have to get used to it, but once you do and you try it a few times, you will get better every time at it. Also a great tip with this technique for hair, the more vertical you're holding your marker, the thinner your lines can be. So if you really want to have like this vibe of those single hairs that you can see, definitely hold your marker a bit higher up. Also, don't be afraid to keep a bit of the white area. Those can be natural highlights. So don't be afraid to keep a bit of the white in it. If you don't have any white left because of the flicking or because you like it, no biggie at all. It is perfect as well if you don't have any white area. Sometimes I have white space, sometimes I don't. Flicking is not really controllable or that much that you can on purpose leave some things. So in case you don't have white space, perfectly fine. For the colors of the shirt and such, I had no clue what to do really, so I just did what I do 99% of the time, and that's just reusing a combination. So I used the green combination from the leaves to help me with the shirt, and then for the pants later on I think I did use some blue markers there. So just let yourself be guided. If you know what to do, do it. If you don't know what to do or which color to use, look at what you already used in the rest of your coloring and maybe you can reuse it. That's what I do. So here on the tree, I just made sure to have a bit of contrast here and there, not too much either, and to go over it. Also, I'm doing most of the times 2 layers. It helps me getting the blend that I want. If you need more layers, you add more layers. If you don't need 2 layers, you don't add 2 layers. It is not an obligation. You just have fun with the coloring, enjoy the process. If you love the result, stop because it's perfect as it is. So here for the pants, I didn't want to go too dark either, so I just used this one darker blue marker and then go really light to have enough contrast, but do not have a pants too dark to not go with the rest of the coloring. I'm using the matching dies to cut this image out and those leaves that are falling to give me some options later on to wiggle it around, to place it wherever I can. Now to add a bit more color in the background, you can do ink blending. You can use a colored cardstock or you can use some pattern papers. I recently bought these 2 packs. I haven't used them so far, so I still had to open them. You have this gingham that you can use, and there is this purple that was really the perfect purple to go with the hair, but I didn't end up using it. I think it was a really safe choice, and I love safe choices, let that be clear. But then I opened this other paper pack and I was like, this is a bit, well, it's a bit more funky, and with the hair I thought I could go funky. So I think there are again multiple options here. You can use many of the patterns that are in this paper pack. I ended up using the first one in the pack. I think there is a bit of this violet in it as well. This pack is a Joyful Plaid, and I just added a piece of this pattern paper on the bottom of my card base, and then I'm going to use this Blueprints 27, one of my favorites. There is tons of it in it, many dies to create a background with it, but I always use this specific one. And I actually just wanted to have this fun scallop border. So I die cut a white piece of paper. Yes, nothing fancy. I added a sentiment on top of it from the stamp set that is perfect for the birthday card. And then I will add the pattern paper on the bottom of my card base, because you can, and it will work great. So I just made sure to stamp this sentiment on the bottom, well, the part that I will use as the bottom of this panel, with some black ink, the same ink as I use for my images. It's the Extreme Black Ink from My Favorite Things. I stamped it a few times to have a crisp impression, and then I could assemble my card. So I first started with the pattern paper. I'm going to trim off all of the excess, but this way I'm sure that my complete card base is covered. So that's what I tend to do. So I'm just trimming off the excess. I'm going to save that with the rest of the paper pack. And then I'm going to add this white piece of paper, and then I can add all of the images. So first, the panel. I made sure to take a ruler to see where the sentiment was in the center and just trim off all of the excess again. I added it to the card base, trimmed off again the excess. Really easy this way. So here I'm just measuring. I don't need it on the right side, but on the left side I need to sort of know where, because if you add it to the card base, something that I struggle with, if I add it to the card base and I want to trim it on the left side, I sometimes trim it a bit too close and then I ruin the card base. So I made sure to already trim the left side. I'm going to position it completely in that corner, and then I can trim off all of the excess on the right side. Maybe my explanation is rubbish, but you will see here what I mean. So it's all in that left corner, and I can just trim off the right side here. And that's perfect. So I have this lovely border, I have my pattern paper for a hint of color, and then I'm going to add my images. I'm using some thin foam squares to just have a tiny bit of dimension, because in the background I don't have any. And just have fun with the layout. You can also embellish if you want to, because there is kind of a white area. If you don't like the white area, you can do a tiny bit of ink blending if you want to create a bit of a background there as well. But I found with the pattern paper that there was already color enough, and then the image on the top with all of the coloring, it's just perfect like that. So just trimming off the excess here. I first wanted to snip it off, but I'm not capable. So I used my trimmer. I forgot to color the flowers on the pants, and that's it. A really simple birthday card. I loved creating them. I love these Tiddlyinks images from My Favorite Things. I hope that you love this card as well, that I could inspire you today. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you all an incredible day, and I promise to be back soon with some new craft inspiration. Bye!